don't fall into the trap that I fall into sometimes. I constantly fall into this trap. And I see it's a trap. I know it's a trap. I tell myself, that's a trap. Don't fall into that trap. And then I watch myself fall into the trap. And the trap I'm talking about is the divide and conquer trap. The most powerful people in the world are the most powerful people in the world because of their ability to cooperate with one another and be organized. That's why that is the secret to power. Cooperation. And not just, I'm about to walk over there and I don't need, get in the house a little bit. Now, it seems very unfair that the little bit gets to be in the house, but Duke and Dolly do not. But there is a difference between Duke and Dolly and Little Bit. Little Bit is so small that a hawk or an owl could scoop Little Bit up and take him into the sky and eat him and never be seen. Little Bit is smaller than a rabbit. So, whoa! Oh, smart man. Finally, somebody sped up instead of slowing down. That's what you got to do if the dog starts chasing. If you slow down, they're going to think they can grab that tire. I'm glad he sped up. He knows what he's doing. I mean, don't speed up if you're going to run over them, but if they're to the side or back of you, just get out of there. That's the way to do it. So there's the divide trap, right? So there's no real reason, if you think about it, there's no real reason for white people to hate black people, or black people to hate white people, or black people to hate Mexicans, or Asians to hate white people, or white people to hate Jews. There's no real reason. But those who are in power, they have an opposite set of rules. So in Israel, the Jews have no interracial marriage, but they promote it everywhere else because they want a homogenous population that's easier to unite because there's less differences. They have very secure borders, but they promote open borders everywhere else. There's a reason for that. If you look at America, there's only 100 senators, but there's 320 million Americans. How do 320 million Americans cede their power to a Senate of only 100 men? I'm going to tell you how. Those 100 men are able to cooperate with one another and work together better than the 320 million can. And among the 320 million, there is not a group of 100 amongst them that can organize and be unified with each other and cooperate as efficiently as those 100 senators in Washington. That's why they're the rulers and we are the slaves. Rich slaves, but still slaves. Still serfs, still peasants. Rich, if you come to America, it's not the land of freedom, it's the land of serfdom. You don't own your land. If you think you do, don't pay your property taxes. Your land will be put up for auction. You don't own your vehicle. If you think you do, don't buy your tag this year and to see what happens. So we're really serfs. America is a land full of rich slaves that don't know they're slaves. You don't own your property. You don't own your truck, your vehicle. I guess that offended the one person watching. Now, how does the ruling class rule over? I'm repeating myself, so when I post this, it's going to seem kind of crazy, but it makes sense when I'm trying to say it to the people who pop up into the watching. I'll have 1 or 2 people watching for 5-10 seconds. Then it'll go to 0. then more people will pop in and watch. So I'll sometimes just repeat what I'm saying over and over again because I have a certain message I'm trying to get out there and tell as many people as possible. But if you want to be free, you must be armed. But not just armed with weapons, but armed with knowledge. But cooperation and organization is the most important part. That's how the ruling class rules over us. The 100 senators in Washington cooperate and get along, but the 320 million Americans, among all of them, you cannot find 100 that work together and cooperate together on that level. They're all divided amongst each other. There's the divide and conquer trap. So anytime they feel weak, they feel their power slipping, they will do things to create division. And this is why diversity is not a strength, because it gives multiple points at which you can incite division. You can incite racial division, religious division, ideological division. The more different your population is, the more different groups you have, the easier it is to divide them against each other, and the harder it is to get up a group of 100 of them that can cooperate with one another. And then there's the paradox that if you make a nation of diverse people, they all mix together and you lose the diversity. It's the segregation that creates the diversity, the genetic diversity. Yes, I can. Let me get up for this. Bye, Gary.